a lot of other historians also have tried to talk about biographies of many people of 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I think there is a moment in this time right now that there is reassessment going on
Yes, you
of
see,
a lot of important.
what has happened is that for the first time, there is interest, and there is time, there is resource, and there is a vibrant publishing industry. You see, the fact is that till about, and I'll certainly give credit to a lot of these international publishers for producing books of absolutely international quality. इससे पहले जो Indian publishers थे, they were producing very few books. You know, book length भी कम थी, book run भी कम था. So now that the country is emerging out of a अब जैसे if I had decided to write books 30 years ago, my parents would have said, "Have you gone crazy? I mean, how are you going to live?" Now it is possible today. Today it is possible to be a full-time historian. Today it is possible for me to say, all right, I don't want to do anything, but I want to write books. But 20 years ago, it was not possible. You would hardly got any royalty. You would have not come and interviewed me. Who would have read the books? तो क्या करता आदमी? You could have written only textbooks. And textbooks cannot be written with interest. Because शास्त्री जी पे इतिहास में 2 पन्ने मिलेंगे, 3 पन्ने मिलेंगे.
True. Not
Right.
even that much.
Not even that much. So who is going to read a book on Shastri? So now that we have the ability and the resource and the time
And
to write a book,
people are also interested.
People are interested. They have the resources to buy these books, and there is a general interest. The podcast culture has come in, so that is why all this has happened. That is why today I can live off my writings. But and of course, the pension is very, very good, and I'm very happy with my pension. But the fact is that it is possible now
True.
for an author to be an author, and unfortunately for Hindi authors, it's not true, because Hindi की किताबें इतनी नहीं बिक रही हैं, लेकिन उसमें कोई there's nothing that you're getting, because the sale price of the book is very limited. अब जैसे इसकी जो हिंदी edition आएगी, that will be about 400 rupees something. So कटा के, I mean, what will the author get, right? So in Hindi it is even more difficult, but now it is theoretically possible to write books and to have a good, decent, I won't say an extravagant
Sir,
lifestyle.
that is the economic side of it. My main
No, but that economic side is very important, because without that economic side, how do you do
other
it?
thing doesn't exist.
It won't have happened.
True.
Because now research also requires a lot of travel. I mean, I'm going to, this Tawang thing, if you have to travel, if you make at least, because I'll have to go at least 5-6 times to Tawang. So I'm happy that the NEC is supporting my endeavor. They've tied up with IIM Shillong, so NEC is taking care of my travel. But without that travel cost being taken care of,
True.
it is not possible for you to go and undertake a visit to Tawang, and I'll have to make at least 4-5 visits. I'll have to go to Tawang, then I have to go to Tyonzang, where he was a political officer, Mokokchung, where he was the DM, Kohima, a funds permit to Rangoon, where he was our High Commissioner, and our ambassador, and Papua New Guinea, where he helped make the constitution.
Okay.
So, everything is a function of time, resource, and now with the new libraries that are coming, not the new libraries. अब जैसे अब पूरी की पूरी, not पूरी की पूरी, but I would say 65% of our national archives have been digitized. तो जयराम दास दौलतराम पेपर सब के सब उसमें अवेलेबल है मुझे. तो आगे मुझे, in fact, even when I was doing this We the People of the States of Bharat and Shastri book, one had to go to Nehru Memorial, look into the microfilms, and then do a lot of work.
The old school.
But अब वो ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, because everything has been digitized. Everything has been digitized. Oh, you want a document from Foreign and Commonwealth Office, you get it. You want something from the Johnson Library, you get it. So everything is available at the drop of a hat. So much of digitization has happened, which has made it easier to do work. I mean, I like coming to the libraries. अच्छा लगता है थोड़ा इधर-उधर हो, but I mean, for all practical purposes, Shalini, my EA, I tell her ये निकालो, ये करो, वो करो, वो करो. सुबह उसको बता दिया, शाम तक ये निकालो, वो निकाल के दे देती है मुझे. I mean, that
it is enabled the whole thing,
and she doesn't have to meet me. I mean, she sits. I mean, she's in Dehradun, but her home is about 10 kilometers away. उसको बोल देते हैं सुबह ये निकालो भाई, ये जयराम इधर जाओ. अब अरुणाचल आर्काइव्स है, सो शी इज अ मेंबर ऑफ द अरुणाचल आर्काइव्स, तो वहाँ से निकाल लिया. कोई नागालैंड से आपको डॉक्यूमेंट चाहिए, So a lot of documents have become have been digitized. कुछ अभी नहीं हुए, but वो भी हो जाएंगे, 2-3 साल में हो जाएंगे. So the it's a challenge and it's an advantage. आगे क्या था कि मटेरियल कम था, तो उस कम मटेरियल से आपको एनालिसिस करना आसान था. अब मटेरियल बहुत बढ़ गया. अब नेक्स्ट राउंड में क्या होगा कि अभी तक जितनी रिसर्च हुई है शास्त्री पे, दैट इज बेस्ड ऑन इंग्लिश न्यूज़पेपर्स. नेक्स्ट रिसर्च में अब उड़िया में उन पे क्या लिखा गया, बंगला में उन पे क्या लिखा गया, उनकी डेथ का क्या क्या रिएक्शंस थे, वो आएगा. उनकी इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन भी आसान हो
एक्चुअली
गई.
मुझे वो भी सर पूछना था.
हाँ.
आपका चैप्टर जहाँ खत्म होता है, आखिरी चैप्टर, इट एंड्स विद डेथ ऑफ शास्त्री जी, बट उसके बाद की जो सारी कंट्रोवर्सीज है, यू हैव नॉट.
मैं नो आई विल टेल यू
Was it
वेरी
purposeful?
क्लियर. पर नहीं, उसमें ट्विटर पे डिबेट हुई, एंड आई हैव बीन टेलिंग पीपल दैट लुक, देयर इज ओनली वन बुक बाय अनुज धीर व्हिच टॉक्स अबाउट योर प्राइम मिनिस्टर इज डेड, एंड आई हैव सेड आई एम विलिंग टू डिबेट दिस एट एनी प्लेटफॉर्म एनीवेयर with facts and figures, that how some of the assumptions that are made in that book are not to be borne on the crucible of empirical credibility. That's what I would say. Because as a historian, you see, there's a difference between a historian and a journalist.
True.
There is nothing. You open the last page of you open the thing. There is nothing in the book which does not have a source. Everything which I attribute is because of there is a source to it, right?
Yes.
Yes, there will be an interpretation of those facts, but I will have to give and just open. See, dekho,
I've seen.
you see, both in these books, there is no statement which can be made
True.
without reference to.
Without reference to almost so many pages of references also.
Because आप पूछ सकते हैं ना.
Yeah.
And not only that, when these publishers, especially I've dealt with only two, Harper and Bloomsbury, they have such strong legal scrutiny, that no statement should appear which cannot be backed by a fact. Where you are giving an interpretation, you'll have to say you're giving an interpretation. But you'll again have to base that interpretation on a whole series of facts. Right?
But so looking as an historian, if you look at the lot of books which are coming into market now about historical, where are we going exactly?
Some books are history books. Some books clearly say that they are historical fiction. Some books clearly say that this is a fiction which is based on some historical characters. So there is a hierarchy of books. There is a hierarchy of books.
True.
I am a historian, but in my history, I try to make it interesting by bringing in some facts, some little known facts, which will make it interesting. For example, the fact that Marie Curie was an idol for him.
Yeah.
That's something which is there. So it's a fact, right?
True.
The poems that he wrote for his daughter. It's a fact. His instances with Swaran Singh, I mean, his sense of humor, all this embellishes the history. There's nothing that I will write. Then there are historical fictions, which make it very clear that it's a work of historical fiction. And then there are fictions which have some historical things. So there are 3 grades.
Yes.
So you have, full cream milk, then
single
toned
double toned,
and double toned milk. So हमारा तो भैया full cream milk है इसमें. That is what I like. Hey, this is what you get. What I give is full cream milk.
True.
No adulteration. In fact, वो जो double toned milk है ना, that is coffee milk. वो तो दूध में rose flavor, coffee flavor, almond flavor milk. Very different from. So almond flavor milk is almond or milk. That's a question that you have to ask. Whether cold coffee is coffee or milk.
History
that
or
you have
fiction.
to ask. So history, historical fiction, and a fictional work which has some historical
context.
आज ये original हो गया मेरे से. I mean, I had not thought of this in this slide. But I was, thank you for asking this very intelligent question.